Guess what? I'm back. The coil was dirty, but that wasn't the problem. The unit's on heat. The customer said during the middle of the night that the heat stopped working. So even though the obvious wasn't the problem, now we're going to find out what the real problem is. So let's check out the furnace. I just got here. Short flash first. One, two. Oh no, it's the same thing. 3. Great. That means limit circuit lockout. Wow, so the limit switch is the problem again. So even though the coil was super dirty, that wasn't the problem. Now, I know for a fact that I don't think this ductwork is definitely big enough for this 3-ton unit. And I did check it, but I didn't think that would be the problem, but I may have to add another return. Now, can I do that in this basement? Is there a gas hot water heater? No, it's electric. So technically, because we've got a couple vents down here, and I did count the vents too. I think there was like 10 or maybe 11. So technically I could add a return on this furnace. So, but I need to make sure the blower's working, and the blower could be going out. So, but it was working. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the breaker off. Wadsworth. Get it to come back on. And then I may add a return, and hopefully that'll fix it. I may do something temporary right here just to see. Really thought it was going to be that indoor coil. I thought, man, that's dirty. We're going to clean it. We're going to be in good shape. The blower's working right now. You can hear it. So it could be that the indoor motor is, maybe it's turning off, or maybe it's just getting too hot. I checked the temperature rise. I was here for 30 minutes at least after I fired up the heat just to make sure we didn't have any problems, but it wasn't long enough. All right, let's see if it turns on, and let's check the temperature rise, and then I'm going to get a tape measure on my ductulator, show you the duct size, and then show you how to temporarily fix this until I can get my crew out here to maybe do a new return up into the main living area upstairs. It is only a 20 by 20 return grill. So if you're looking at how much return you need for a 3-ton unit, you would take 3 times 200, right? That would be 600. We need 600 square inches because we need 200 square inches per ton. So with a 20 by 20 return, that's only 400 square inches. So I need to add at least a 12 by 12 filter maybe to the side of this furnace. Maybe if I've got a 12 by 12 return grill, I could add a box and add that little grill down here. It would be nice to get a return down here anyways, because we've got conditioned air coming down here, so that'll just help. But let's check, but we don't want to take all the return from the basement. Let's check this out. All right, it's firing up. Fan is running. All right, I'm going to check the supply temp, and then I'm going to get my ductulator. Here's the return for downstairs. It's only a 20 by 20, so that's definitely not enough. That's enough for a 2-ton. I'm going to turn up the thermostat so it stays running. Temperature coming out of the supply vent is 116 degrees, and it is 70 degrees upstairs. It's about 70, so about a 45-degree split. You know, for this furnace, the temperature rise should be in between 30 and 60, and that's right. Let's see how much air is coming out. Yeah, pretty good amount of air. You know, 500, that's nice. So there's 10 vents total. I'm sorry, 11 vents total. That's about 1100 CFM. So You know, we could use one more vent, but that's great. That's great. So 116, nice. All right, let's go check the duct size. This return is 16. All right, by, get on there, 10 by 16. All right, grab our ductulator, line up 10 with 16, that's it, right? 10 by, that's 18. 10 by 16, right? Go up here, 0.05, 700 CFM. We're way off. So, yeah, we definitely need some more. So that's 14-inch round pipe equivalent. So we really need some more. If we go up to 1200, you know, really that's what we need. And that would put us at about like 10 by 25 or 16 by 16. So we're short about 6 inches. So cutting a return on the other side is really going to help us. I'm going to go check and see how much this is pulling, and then we're going to cut a hole in this furnace because I think that's the issue, and we're going to add some more return. Let's go check the supply though real quick. Let's check the supply. What do we got on the supply? 7 by, oh, it's hard to hold that. 7 by 15. Oh my goodness. But there's 2. It goes into 2. So 7 by 15 times 2. What is that? Let's line it up. 7. It's about in between 14 and 16. And that is what? About 380. 0.05, 380 right there. We'll just call it 400. So 400 times 2, that's 800 CFM. So 800 CFM on the supply, really about 700 and 700 here. So, man, we just don't have enough duct. We don't have enough duct. That's the problem, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to add a return. At least I can help with that while I'm here. And probably quote them new duct work. You know, so this should have been checked, though, when they installed it. Whoever installed it. All right, let's get some supplies. Let me go check the return and see what it's pulling. All right, let's see what we got. Got about 200 on the bottom. Wow. 230. And in the middle, man, this is way low. Way low. I need to see if I can up the fan speed. That's part of the problem. So you're supposed to have in between 300 to 500 on your return grill. No more than 500, all right? And no less than 300. So we're gonna check fan speed. I've already checked fan speed and it was good, but I'm gonna check it again, see if I can up it. Furnace just kicked off, man. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 33. Limit circuit fault. Wow, so even though the temperature rise, you know, it wasn't more than 45, it wasn't over 60. You know, I think max temperature rise on this piece of equipment is like 185. Let's see. Maximum outlet air temperature is 185. Right? So it wasn't over that, but it faulted out. Fan's still running. We're just not getting enough air. We are not getting enough air through this furnace. So I've got some supplies and we're going to add a little bit of a return down here. Here's my supplies. I've got my angles, right? This is just 2-inch strips of metal. I bent with a brake, 1 inch on each side. Got my 12 by 12 filters, tape measure, snips, marker, unibit, drill, and my 1/4 inch bit, and then my 1/4 inch screws. I did not have a 12 by 12 return grill, so I'm not going to worry about building a box. I'm just going to put something temporary on here. and I'm going to go ahead and get to work. So the first thing I do is I'm going to take and figure out where my angles are going to be placed, right? So I'll take and put my filter up on the side of the unit, and you could actually put a marker around this, right? And you could just mark out the square, but I'm only going to cut probably, you know, a 10 by 10 hole out this square, right? Because I want enough area that where my filter will not be sucked into the unit. Also, I would probably use a pleated filter for this just to make sure that you don't, because you know these filters, you can hit them and then the dust will just go right in the unit. But you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just taking the angles, putting my filter up here, and then I'm screwing my angles to the unit, because once I get that done, then I'm going to drill a hole here, 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 and then use my snips to cut it out. And that's it. See? I got 3 angles on there. Very easy. See? Screw, 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 screw. This is something temporary until I can get my guys down here and get a box built. It's 3 o'clock right now. It's Friday. I'm not going to the shop to build a box. This is easy. I want to get these people some heat, and then we'll do that later. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my hole, and I'm using a unibit. Now I'm going to take my snips and just take and cut here, up, and then over. Then I'll have my hole. Yay! Make sure you get a pair of not just straights, but left hand or right hand snips, and that'll help you to be able to cut, you know, this way or that way. We've almost got it done though. You can see the motor now. Look at that. Look at that beautiful motor. Look at all that dust. We're definitely gonna have to pull this out and clean that wheel. Man, that's what happens when you don't use a filter. But the hole's about 9 inches by 9 inches right now. We got some more cutting to do. I'll go ahead and show you what I'm going to do next after I get done cutting. You know, the filter will go in here like this. I'll probably have it to where they can slide it in and out right here. Okay, but you could have it to where they slide it in from the top, slide it in from the bottom. I don't know what I'll do yet. I may have them slide it in from the top, not sure, but I'm going to take and cut some more angles, and then this is where I'm going to attach the angles like this to hold the filter. That way it doesn't fall out. I'll show you that. So this is how I attach the angles. I've got 1/4 inch screw, 1/4 inch screw on the bottom, 1/4 inch screw, 1/4 inch screw. And this is what's going to keep that filter from falling out. And I've still got to cut because it's not even, but you can take the filter and then you can slide it in, right? See? See? Boom. Now, you may need to look at it and then based off of what you see, raise your angle up just to make it even tighter. But you can see we're not going to be really sucking air, but I need to make this a little bit better. I need to finish cutting it and then I need to raise this angle up a little bit. Alright, but that's how it's done. And you want to check and make sure it's not sharp. I may get some type of tape to put on here just for temporary use until I can get down here and build a box. But this is something you can do in the field until you can get a crew scheduled to come, or you can get time to come and build a nice return box. The only other thing we could do is we could take and enlarge the return over on the other side all the way up. But normally you want to build a box and set the unit on the box and then have the return go over. Let me know what you guys do. This is just temporary though. I taped all the edges so it's not sharp. Left them an extra filter just in case it's, you know, a month or so before we get here. And now we've got the unit back on heat. Let's see if it overheats. Let's recheck and see what our airflow is on our supply and on our return upstairs. I did have to get my other pair of snips out, so got my left-handed, my greens. Be careful when you're working with sheet metal, guys. I just slid my finger across this on accident and it got a little boo-boo. But don't worry, because I got dirt and duct tape. Yeehaw! Look at that. It is barely pulling from upstairs now. So we got to do something, because this ain't going to work. This ain't going to cut it. I need this to be pulling 300, not 135. That's ridiculous. Let's see if we have any room to enlarge this to a 20 by 30. Looks like we could go up a little bit for sure. It's boxed in. We can just cut into that, make it bigger, make it 20 by 30 and pull all the return, or make the return plenum bigger from this return grill all the way down to the furnace. All right, so we lowered the temperature by 6 degrees. It's 111, it's steady. We definitely increased the airflow because it wasn't 630 over here before. We definitely increased the airflow quite a bit. So airflow is definitely the issue here. 111. We should not trip limit. I'm gonna wait and let it set and run for 30 minutes though. I also need to check vent temperature. So I'm gonna do that now, but I don't see where the vent comes out. I need to check. I don't see anywhere where the vent comes out of the roof. There's a patch. Huh. Maybe that's just roof repair. I hope that's not where a chimney was. Check over here. Nope. No vent coming out the roof. That ain't good. Furnace is still running. That's a good sign. But I'm kind of concerned because I can't see the vent coming up out of the roof. And that says max temperature is 167. Let's go up past the elbow. Looking at 211. Okay, let's keep moving. What does it say over here? Max is 161. Okay, let's go over here. This is where it goes into whatever this is, 186. Wow, okay. So I'm kind of concerned. I don't see a vent terminating out of the roof. I'm gonna go in the attic. If that's where the unit is, then that vent should be right over here. But I don't see anything. Wow. All right. I need to go in the attic. I made it in the attic and I don't see any vent pipe. No vent pipe to be found. So I'm a little concerned. Bro, look at this. Look at this. Let me know what you think is going on here. I think the chimney was taken out. I don't think this is going anywhere, which could be the reason that it's overheating, but I'm pretty sure, what is that? Oh, just a hole. I'm pretty sure the unit's still running. You see? Yeah. So, I mean, it's no longer overheating. I've taken care of the issue. The issue is the ductwork for sure, but I'm really concerned about this now. I went out front. There is no termination out front. If it did go out front, it'd have to go all the way up past the roof line. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, and I am blown away. I'm probably gonna take that apart and take a look inside. Kind of freaking out right now. I'm reading max of 122 degrees right there. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know where this is at, but pretty sure that's where the chimney was, and it was taken out. Now that we know this situation, we've got to make the customer aware, the homeowner aware of the situation, how dangerous it is. Now we got to make the choice of whether we want to disable the unit and write a ticket saying that we let the homeowner know and that we've disabled the equipment, or we just let the homeowner know and we don't disable the equipment. But I've got to find out if they've got carbon monoxide detectors. If you've got a CO monitor, a carbon monoxide detector, then you can use that tool to verify the ppms in the house. Let me know what brand you use. If you've got one, if you don't have one, there's a few different brands you can use. I'll put those in the link in the description. There's one right here. Click that link if you need one. This is a situation where I think we definitely need one. But I'm going to let the homeowner know, because she's got children and I don't want anything to happen to them. And my other question is, who is the person that took the chimney out and then just covered it up? What were you thinking? you couldn't have been thinking. So just curious, but yeah. Check this out. So talked to the homeowner, and she explained that the chimney was removed, and that it was removed in the attic, it was removed in the house, and then it was removed right below the flooring. And at the flooring, you know, they covered it up with flooring and they sheetrocked, you know, over it, she said. So the vents no longer terminating outside the house. I told her, I said, you need to get carbon monoxide detectors. She said, we've got 4 of them. I said, well, that's amazing. I'm so glad that, number one, your house hasn't burnt down, or number 2, you guys haven't been, you know, hurt or harmed with the carbon monoxide poisoning. That vent is not terminating outside. Those flue gases are going inside that little box. So we definitely have to, A, run that vent outside the house and go up above the roof, because that's code, or we need to replace the furnace to a 90% furnace and then do a PVC vent outside. We don't have to run that one all the way up. So one of those options. I also explained that I've got it temporarily fixed. It's no longer getting too hot, but we need to replace the ductwork. So we got to do that. At least the return duct has to be replaced. The supply really needs to be replaced as well. At least, you know, 10 foot of each section that splits. That way we can increase the size and then we can reduce down. That would work as long as you could take some vents off each side. But this is a good one. Wow, I don't see this very often, where you have a 80% furnace and the vent is going inside of a box and not terminating up. Somebody removed the chimney and just, I guess, wasn't thinking or didn't know. Let me know if you've ever run into this. Let me know what you would do. In the first video, I thought I had it fixed because I thought that coil is stopped up. But no, Mr. Taddy, you did not fix the unit. We got more problems. And thankfully, it did not work, and I had to come back and I found another problem. And this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to check everything, not just what you're working on, one part of it. Check the whole install. I knew from the moment I saw this unit, I said, this is not a very good install, especially with the coil hanging over, the vent pipe touching the drain, all these things. I just knew somebody was not paying attention. We're going to do this the right way. If you guys want to see an updated video with me fixing the vent pipe, maybe replacing the furnace, replacing the ductwork, comment below. Let me know if you want to see that. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.